All right, everybody. Thank you very much for attending this webinar on marketing ROI, return on investment. And please let me introduce myself, Michiel van der Watering from the Netherlands. And I founded my firm Accountable Marketing in 2004, working on companies to help them as marketing manager, interim marketing manager, project manager, to make their marketing effectiveness increase by introducing the concept of accountability of marketing and return on investment when it comes to marketing investments. Besides that, I'm also a lecturer at business schools because the management of the business schools found out that their future employees of their graduates were really looking for people who understand the concept of, well, what do you bring me with your accountability? So don't be just responsible, but also be accountable for all the funds that we gave. And I wrote a book about it called in Dutch Marketing Kassa, which best translates to like a marketing register or marketing till, where I mean that the marketeers have to be accountable. They have to pay results for the money that they take from the company to build their marketing. So in the beginning of this year, I've translated the book into Yes, Accountable Marketing, because I really believe it's time for marketeers to stand up, become accountable, and that will be there, as they say, the golden ticket back into the boardroom or to the C-suite. And so they get grip of the marketing budget throughout the whole year instead of getting rid of a part of the marketing budget because there are problems elsewhere in the company. Because if you look at a company, most companies, all parts are accountable except for marketing. Marketing seems to be able to get away with it and do what they want to do or need to do. And I also found out that marketeers are not often very proud of what they're doing, or they're pestered about by their colleagues because they can show the results. So I think that's enough about me, and I would very much welcome Jim Lenskold here, who wrote the book. I've got it here in front of me, of course, Marketing ROI, and explaining the whole concept of all kinds of types of marketing ROI and how to calculate it. So please, Jim, if you would like to introduce yourself to the audience, that would be very nice. Thank you.
Sure, absolutely. Well, first of all, it's a pleasure to be here, Michiel. So, especially to be in the presence of someone who believes it and is another champion for the accountability, the ROI, the things we think should be obvious for a business practice. And obviously, we need advocates like us, right? So. But in terms of background, so Jim Lenskold, my company Lenskold Group has been around 21 years now. My background comes from AT&T. That's where, oddly enough, marketing ROI did find its way into a big corporation in the 1980s, but a little bit misunderstood maybe in the beginning. But the finance group came down and said, hey, you need to be measuring this, you need to be reporting this. And obviously, what I did there as a marketing manager and that discipline that I got early in my career certainly shaped it from that point. And then when I started my company, it was initially strategic marketing and helping drive effectiveness. But I quickly shifted over to where I thought there was a great need, and that is, how do we get the measurements, the analytics to focus on not the early stage outcomes from marketing, but taking it all the way to sales, revenue, profit, right? That's where we get the ROI. And I think what's worked well, and what I've tried to do for my clients, is make sure that even though we're doing the financial analysis, even though we're doing the analytics, that everything we do is part of strategy and part of decision support. So measurements tend to look backwards. We make sure that we set the measurements in such a way that it's going to be more looking forward, right? So I'd rather measure something that I can apply and improve effectiveness than just look back and try to just prove out what I did. So that's the kind of discipline we get into. I think what we've seen in terms of over these 20 years, the beginning was, where do I get data? Now we're in the world of, what do I do with all this data, right?
Yeah, right.
But and you and I have talked before. One of the biggest steps that people need to take to get there, and steps meaning not an individual but as a group, is the mindset. It's that mindset of that if we take the time and effort, if we get good information, We're going to influence customer behavior. It's not about numbers. It's about, you still have creativity, you still have offers, messaging, targeting, all the important things of marketing. What we're trying to do is get that feedback loop. How do I know when it's working? How do I know when it's not? And that's what I think drives people like us, right? At the end of the day, it's not showing a big number. It's not, it's showing that marketing matters and is relevant to the business.
Yeah. And the thing you just said about data is quite interesting, because every now and then I meet a customer and they're telling me, well, the data that you're suggesting that we need, we don't have it. And I call them a month later and they still say, well, we don't have it. But other customers, they're much smarter and they start collecting the data as of the first time that I pop up the question. And after a couple of months, they've got their data. So not that much, not the big data ready, but they've got some data ready.
Right.
And then we can start building the program or building the model. Yeah.
Right. But digital marketing, a lot of on the B2B side, you've got the marketing automation that feeds into sales systems. I mean, there's a lot of things that have helped improve the data. Again, it's still knowing what to look for and how to use it that makes the bigger difference. And I think to your point, it's not like we have to have all the data and try to solve everything. We can take steps and do this in small increments.
Absolutely, yeah. If you try to solve it all at the same time, it will take you years before you've got anything ready. So just start with the very simple thing. Just put down your goals, write them down for your next campaign in small parts in your funnel, and see where it gets you. And the first time you don't have a clue, that's no problem. It will give you a clue afterwards whether your prospects were okay, or that you were exaggerating or too enthusiastic in your goals.
That's right.
And,
that's right.
And that will help you, or the other way as well. I mean, if you're too pessimistic about the results and the results are overwhelming, you on one hand are the champion within your company as marketeers or sales representatives because you take in a lot of customers. But probably some people in operations will not like you very much because they get an overload of customers, which they didn't expect. So, yeah, you just start working on it, and then it will be okay, I think. Jim, I've got your presentation ready to share.
Yeah, let's do that, because I think what we wanted to do is we'll do just a little bit of presentation up front to get everyone on the same page, make sure we have definitions set, and then from there we'll just come back to the conversation.